Viewer discretion is advised.
You are listening to Wine and Crime, the podcast where two friends chug wine, chat true crime, and unleash their worst Minnesotan accents.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Amanda's had a day. But
Good
she's
girl.
Amanda. I'm Lucy.
Hi.
Tell them what happened to you.
I have fucking kidney stones, bitch. What the fuck?
I really hope you catch it in your sieve.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. It sucks.
It sounds awful. I've never had one. Knock on wood.
Girl, don't. But you have had a child, and I hear that apparently the pain is similar. And so I don't want it.
Yeah, that was a, 7-pound, 8-ounce kidney stone.
Oh, God. Thankfully, mine are only about 3 millimeters, so they don't want to do surgery at this time. But
Well,
I will be following up with urology.
Yeah. See if they can give you an epidural.
Oh, God.
That sharp pain that takes you out of your body. It's like a pain beyond pain. It's a totally different sensation.
Was a lunatic at the hospital. I to the point where I wasn't mean to anybody. I was just basically just moaning and vomiting and then going, I can't do this for just 2 hours.
They should have put you on the labor and delivery unit because those people are angels among us.
I ended up apologizing to all of the staff that assisted me. I was like, I'm sorry for my pain-fueled behavior.
Oh, no.
They were like, oh, you were fine. And I was like, I'm embarrassed.
They probably get people who act like that and much worse and do not apologize or acknowledge it afterwards.
It took 3 rounds of Dilaudid for me to be able to lay still in the CT scan. And I could still fucking feel it.
Yeah.
It was just enough for me not to be writhing. And there's no position you can get in that feels better. Pacing kind of helps, but not really. I was just hunched over like a hunchback.
And if you pace too much, you'll break your foot again.
Listen, last time I paced. So yeah, I'm pretty tired and pretty terrified because apparently there is another one that, as far as I know, has not yet made its way from kidney to bladder, which is apparently the most painful part. Because that's where the passage is smallest. Oh, God, I can't even think about it. I want to gag.
Well, some might call that passage a pipeline.
Yeah.
Which leads us to our very special gals pick today. By the way, I'm so sorry you've gone through this. If I didn't show the proper amount of sympathy for you.
You're fine. I'm fine.
We've been texting all day.
Millions of people have kidney stones. I just happen to also have a podcast platform to complain about it on.
Right.
That's the only thing that makes me at all, quote unquote, special. But if you had them, I really do feel your pain. And I gotta say, I feel like, some people that I have spoken to don't really validate how painful they are. But all the women that I have talked to who've had them are like, oh yeah, it's one of the worst fucking things ever. So if someone is telling you that they are experiencing pain, even if it might be from something as common or benign as a kidney stone, believe them. Believe them.
That's the thing, too. It's before I had a child, it was people have been giving birth in a field for millennia.
Yeah.
It's not that it's not common, and it's not that it isn't something that you can push through. You will come out on the other side of pain. Pain itself won't kill you.
If you're lucky.
That said, it can still be the most traumatic, transformative, beyond pain, like a white blinding. It's like the air you're breathing is different. You're not on this plane anymore.
No.
And it can still be an everyday common occurrence because guess what? There's no fucking forum on what we should be expected to tolerate. There's no board.
No.
That's what I say to guys when they're like, are periods really that bad?
Bitch, shut the fuck up. Then you just punch them in the face.
Anyway.
Or as Real Housewives of Potomac taught me, give them a chin check.
Ooh, I like that.
I know. I watched the first few episodes of the new season today. I'm really enjoying it so far.
I haven't started Potomac, but we've been talking about Real Housewives of New York City with you.
Yes.
Josh and I have.
Yes.
I heard a recommendation on the socials the other day that said the season to start with of New York is season 10. Okay. And then they were giving like a couple of little examples of what happens in 10. It is fucking crazy season.
I've watched like the first 5 seasons of the OG New York. I just fell off on it. So I'll jump back in on 10.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that pipeline is complete.
The Real Housewives pipeline. It's a very real pipeline. Anyway, yes. Today is a very special episode. Pipelines. We're talking about pipelines.
Talking about pipelines. And
this is really an Amanda pick.
Yeah. I mean, yes, you named it better than I did. I really just got sidetracked, as I always do, with really wanting to look into the wellness to alt-right to fascism pipeline. And so Lucy was like, what if we did an episode on pipelines? So that is what I'll be covering today. And I'm really excited to see what you've dug up for yours, because the pipelines are plentiful. There's a fucking pipeline for everything. There's a school to prison pipeline.
Baby. We're going to talk about all of it. And you're going to love the later part of my segment.
Okay, I'm excited. But in the meantime, let me get the rest of you listeners lubed up. Now, due to my circumstances, I'm drinking a lot of water and with a little bit of lemon juice, because apparently the citric acid helps break down calcium and helps with passage of kidney stones.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
But I thought for those of you who are well and able, that you could cozy up with a pipeline cocktail, because of course there's a pipeline cocktail.
Oh my God.
A pipeline cocktail, according to bevy.co, is a cocktail typically served in a cocktail glass. So like you could drink it up. It is a simple mixed drink with 4 ingredients, and it is made as follows. You take 1.5 ounces of Bacardi white rum. Yum. You've already got me. A half teaspoon, I'd probably do less, of powdered sugar. A 1/4 ounce of apricot brandy.
Okay.
And 3/4 ounce lemon juice.
Oh, I would not cut down on that powdered sugar if I were you.
Because of the lemon juice, maybe?
Yes. And also powdered sugar in alcoholic drinks somehow just balances beautifully.
All the taste. Okay.
My dad puts powdered sugar in margaritas.
Oh.
We just do tequila, fresh lime juice, and powdered sugar and ice, and that's it.
You don't put any like orange in there?
Oh, well, a little Cointreau, yes.
Yeah. You're right. Okay. I was like, girl. Yeah, you take all of those ingredients, you put them over ice, you shake it, and you strain it into a chilled cocktail glass. So you take the ice out of it so it won't all melt in there, and you put her down. And she sounds honestly delicious. I don't think I've ever, I can't say I've never had it, because I've had a lot of cocktails and God only knows what every ingredient is that I have drank. But I don't think on its own I've ever had apricot brandy. I know it's sweet. And I know white rum can be a little sweet.
I haven't either.
But this really piqued my interest, and I am very curious about it. So please, someone out there in the wine coven, if you've made it, come into our comments. Tell us how it was. I want to know if it was delicious. I am not drinking anything but water right now, legitimately, until I piss out the last remaining internal knife that's lurking in my kidney.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's fair.
But cheers to the rest of you.
Cheers. I had a shot of vodka before we started, and I have 3 Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yum.
Because we're recording this shortly before Halloween.
Halloween is coming up. We've only got, 9 days left? 10 days left?
10 days from today, and look at my new sweater. I got
love it.
skellies.
They are so stinking cute.
Ew, look at the way my head's moving.
Ew, I hate it. Let me see if I can do it all gross. Ooh. All right, well, with that, let's take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors, unless, of course, you are a subscriber on Wine and Crime Uncorked, and then you're getting this right in your feed, right there, ad-free, babe.
Right down your Eustachian tubes.
You don't have to go anywhere special to find the Uncorked free feed, because it'll just be right there where you usually listen to your podcasts.
And aren't you grateful you're an Uncorked member?
Aren't you so grateful? Join us.
Uncorked. Wine and Crime is a pipeline to Uncorked.
Yeah, but you can leave our cult at any time.
They're not all cults. We'll get to it. We'll be right back.
Okay, BRB.
Most of us indulge a little bit, at least, during the holidays. Some, like me, indulge more than that. An extra serving of this, another little slice of that, an extra glass of wine. No judgment. It's the holidays. But did you know that all the extra cleaning you're probably doing during the holidays could mean that you're putting more microplastics into your body?
Yeah.
And that's not exactly the extra helping that you had in mind.
No, that's why I made the switch to Blue Land across all my cleaning products, especially during the holidays when most of us spend more time cooking, hosting, and cozying up indoors. Blue Land products meet the highest standard of clean. They're effective yet gentle on people and the planet. In fact, Blue Land was named an EPA Safer Choice Partner of the Year. From cleaning sprays and toilet bowl cleaner to dishwasher and laundry detergent tablets, Blue Land's formulas are 100% microplastic free, made with certified clean ingredients, free from chlorine, bleach, and harsh chemicals that are safe to use around your family, your pets, your plants. When your plant leaves get dusty, you can spray them off. You'll love not having to choose between the safe option and what actually gets your home clean. I am obsessed with Blue Land products. We use them for everything. We use them for our laundry, our hand soap, our spray, our dishwasher, and we put our dishes through the ringer, and I put my toilet through the ringer. Let me tell you, that toilet bowl cleaner is so good and actually really fun to use, and it smells amazing.
It's so easy. It makes me feel like I've done a really heavy lift task, but you're just dropping a tablet in the
exact and doing a little scrub. And when you're done cleaning with Blue Land products, your house smells like a spa. I don't know how else to describe it. It just, the scent is so nice and delicate and not overwhelming. I just love it.
Blue Land has a special offer for listeners. Right now, get 15% off your first order by going to blueland.com/gals. You won't want to miss this. Blueland.com/gals for 15% off. That's blueland.com/gals to get 15% off.
If you know me, you know that I am a fluctuating temp sleeper and just general day to day. Let's be real. But overnight, I can wake up sweaty or freezing or just flat out uncomfortable. And this is a very real thing. The temperature in your bedroom can make or break your sleep. And I'm telling you, it has been such a relief to sleep on Miracle Made sheets. That's why I made the switch. They're inspired by NASA technology, and they use silver-infused temperature-regulating fabric to help you sleep perfectly all night long.
Yeah, these sheets are smart. They're NASA smart. So this silver-infused fabric, it regulates your body temperature. So if you're a hot sleeper or a cold sleeper, it really doesn't matter. These are going to help keep you at the perfect comfort zone temperature all night long. They also stay clean for longer, which means way less laundry, which is my favorite thing personally. This is, again, thanks to their antibacterial silver technology. Miracle Made sheets stay cleaner and fresher up to 3 times longer than your regular sheets. They're not gonna smell, frankly, they're not gonna smell bad as nearly as soon as your normal sheets. And these are luxury comfort without that luxury price tag. They feel just as good, if not better, than the fancy sheets that you're gonna find at the 5-star hotel, but without that same price tag. These are smooth, they're breathable, they're ridiculously comfortable, and they're good for your skin. because you're not sleeping on all the bacteria that hides in your regular sheets. This can clog pores, cause breakouts. Miracle Made's antibacterial design helps you sleep cleaner and clearer night after night. Also, I would encourage Miracle, if you're out there listening, start making dresses like clothing, because I just want to drape myself in my Miracle Made sheets just day to day.
Upgrade your sleep or give the gift of better rest. Go to trymiracle.com/gals to try Miracle Made sheets today. You'll save over 40%, and when you use promo code GALS, you'll get an extra 20% off plus a free 3-piece towel set. They make an amazing gift, and with a 30-day money-back guarantee, there's no risk. That's trymiracle.com/gals, code GALS at checkout, and thanks to Miracle Made for sponsoring this episode. Okay, Gorginas. Welcome back. Lucy, I'm scared to even ask, but I'm also very excited. What have you concocted for us for pipelines?
Okay, so
Pipelines.
we decided to do this topic way back in like March or something like that.
Yeah, she's been on the schedule for a minute.
She's been on the schedule, and I think we pushed her back. But since then, and actually pretty recently, one of the people that I follow on TikTok is a guy named, his handle is Mr. Foxwell.
Okay.
It's Mister Foxwell. Has been publishing like a bunch of videos about pipelines.
Oh, how clever.
And I don't really know what his like day job is, but self-proclaimed tism, and that also made me realize that I follow a lot of like deep dive creators who say that they have
who are on the
autism.
spectrum. Yeah.
They're my favorite creators on TikTok because
their
they'll just deep dive.
in-depth hyperfixation is such a gift.
I learn
so
much.
I know.
About fucking anything.
I know. A neurotypical could never.
A neurotypical mind could never.
Could never. God bless.
So, shout out to Mr. Foxwell. Also, I have some information from his videos in my notes. But yeah, if you're interested in this topic and also just kind of like pop culture psychology in general.
Oh, I'm definitely going to follow this account. This sounds right up my alley.
Straight up your alley.
Love
and
it.
he's adorable. And he has a very like silky, like velvety Southern kind of accent.
Cute. Okay.
I don't know where he's from. Love the accent. Could listen to you talk forever. Okay. I know I'm not the only one who said that. So also, I do want to point out that I couldn't even find a definition for what a pipeline is, because just the pipelines as in like an engineering like the tube,
right,
or like
kinda
oil
take over the
pipelines
top
as
hits.
kind of a political divisive subject. So basically what I have cobbled together, a pipeline is the avenue in which individuals are funneled either ideologically or otherwise from like one
point A to point B
to another. Well, it's sort of like point A to point F,
yeah,
because the whole point of a pipeline is that it's like
subtle.
steps. It's steps to this end result, but it's a tube, and when it works the way it's supposed to work, there's no getting off the train. So it's a pipeline. So I think most of us are familiar with the school to prison pipeline, which is more like a sociological, but also like
systemic,
and also what am I trying? Analog. It's sort of like an analog pipeline. So what that is, this is a definition from the ACLU. The school-to-prison pipeline refers to the policies and practices that push our nation's school children, especially our most at-risk children, out of classrooms and into the juvenile and criminal justice systems. This pipeline reflects the prioritization of incarceration over education. So we've talked extensively at length about how our country and the elites of this country profit off of the private prison system and how it's essentially slave labor.
yes,
So the school to prison pipeline highlights kind of like the intentionality behind how all of these what most would consider flaws in the system actually act as like sort of like just the rapids as you're going down a river. 'Cause it's really hard to get off, like I said, and it's also very hard to go the opposite way. So this the ACLU cites in order. So imagine you're going down your rapids or your pipeline, your water slide, failing public schools, zero tolerance policies, so students can get expelled for whatever infraction, but just like one. Quote unquote school resource officers, so cops in the hallway with weapons, disciplinary alternative schools, and then court involvement / juvenile detention. So that is not really what we're talking about today, but that is, I would
one
say
of many pipelines.
The classic example of like a pipeline. And I think we're talking more about pipelines today because they are more related to progressive exposure to different ideologies leading to extremism.
Correct.
And also acting as conceptual models. So related terms would be like echo chambers and rabbit holes, although they're not exactly the same in function.
Right.
They're also not the same as propaganda. So propaganda is created with a very specific intention, whereas a pipeline can start out as something completely benign.
And it works best when it does.
Yeah,
so that it's like by the
the
time you're in it, you can't climb back out. You don't even notice necessarily that you're fully in it.
It's sort of like the frog in the boiling water.
Yes, exactly.
Analogy. It's very hard to tell when you're down in it, and yeah, hard to reverse. And also you have the concept of like plausible deniability. So yeah, so it can start out as something totally benign, and then it's leveraged by sometimes another party, sometimes not, but there is opportunity taken to leverage this pipeline to affect a certain outcome. So that's not the same thing as propaganda, but they exist in the same world.
Sphere, yeah, for sure.
So I think that the reason why we're talking more about these ideological pipelines is because fucking everyone uses the internet, and it's becoming increasingly easy to create your own reality and then consequently your own worldview, like reinforcing your worldview based on your digital existence. What you consume online, the sites you're visiting, the creators that you're watching, the content you're consuming. No one is exempt from this.
No, including us.
Including us. I mean...
And the algorithm also will take bits and pieces of like where you linger and what you look at.
We'll get to the
Yeah, of course we will. But like it's not even just what you're seeking, it's what's being pushed to you intentionally.
Yeah, and like I said, pipelines aren't necessarily nefarious, especially when they start out. It's just an avenue. It's a means to an end. And if it is controlled by a group that is looking
or infiltrated
to,
by a group,
say, make money or have influence or
recruit white supremacists,
then that is something that you need to be aware of and pay attention to. Because again, the frog in the boiling water. Okay, so pipelines are more often, now that we're talking about today, related to cultural exposure. So for example, and I think the major pipeline is the alt-right pipeline, which is a phenomenon in which consuming provocative right-wing political content such as anti-feminist or anti-social justice warrior SJW ideas gradually increases exposure to the alt-right or similar far-right politics. So it posits that this interaction takes place due to the interconnected nature of political commentators and online communities, allowing members of one audience or community to discover more extreme groups. We're inching closer and closer to things because the brain rewards like provocative ideas and imagery, and you are like psychologically inclined to engage with certain posts. So it's really not difficult if there were enough resources and like power behind any given motivation to get your attention and to get you hyped up, whether you're excited for it or mad at it or curious about it. Just to take it a step further, because it's the endorphins. It's like, it's clicking through. That's just what we do. It is what we do all the time, every day. So I think that it's my opinion. I didn't read this anywhere, but I think that it's pretty safe to say that a fairly quick succession of culturally disruptive events in the early 2000s. So we go straight from 9/11, which I think there's a documentary, and I think it's on Netflix, or at least it was on Netflix, that it really shows how much changed after 9/11 immediately and how many lasting impacts, not just in the US, but especially in the US. It was so farther reaching than I really understood before I saw it, but like music, fashion. It wasn't just about like
Twilight.
TSA, Twilight, fucking everything.
The 9/11 to 50 Shades of Grey to the downfall of Ellen DeGeneres pipeline. I have been through that pipeline, and girl, it is powerful stuff.
I don't know if that would be called a pipeline. Maybe more like a red string theory, but
we call it a pipeline.
It is A to B to C to D.
In the ratty community.
Ratty?
Girl, you wouldn't get it. But there are a bunch of people squealing listening to this right now. Yes, I am a ratty. I've run into several of you in Twilight shit posting and Twilight sewer posting.
Oh my God.
Stay in there. I'm in there, baby.
I don't want to know. That is a pipeline I'm going to keep myself out.
Yeah, stay out of my pipeline. You can't come.
Not all pipelines are for everyone.
No.
So we have 9/11, then we invade Iraq, then Obama's elected, then we have this recession. Like a lot of things happen in a single decade. And that really was disruptive. I mean, it was like
it certainly
snip,
disrupted
snap.
the status quo. It was a lot of change in a very condensed period of time, a lot of political change in a very condensed period of time.
Cultural,
it was a lot. Yeah.
Everything. And then you take the recession into account, and it's like, oh, my family is losing money because of, X, Y, and Z. So
and we have the internet now, so we can all share about it and talk about it and share our ideas that weren't necessarily reaching other people before.
So these things, among others, made Americans, and I'm really talking about white men here, feel like they don't have control. So they start showing interest in political movements such as the men's rights movement. Why don't we have a day? Libertarianism, which is just like kind of a politically correct way of saying the same thing in a lot of ways. Like
it's
I don't know. There's a vibe about libertarians.
Yeah, y'all are weird. Racist and goofy. Like
both.
Really a crummy combination of things. Like pick a struggle.
Right?
Like, for real.
Also like the Alt-Lite movement, which
basically what the fuck?
It basically said
the Crystal Light movement.
We're not mainstream conservatives. We're real Republicans, but we're not racist. But we still hate women and immigrants.
Right.
Alt-Lite. Okay. Also something called the intellectual dark web, which was like academics who felt threatened by modern college environments because like women were too loud and
they're letting anybody in.
It's not a safe space for your conservative ideology. So these isolated dudes go online and find community with other lonely dudes. They're exposed little by little to more and more extreme ideas. And then boom, they're just part of the alt-right. Shit posting on 4chan.
Mm-hmm.
It's a slippery slope. It really is. It's a regrettably slippery slope.
Mm-hmm.
So
I wish the slope for my kidney stones were as slippery as this slope. Let's just put it that way. It all circles back.
If you greased them up anymore, then you'd have gallbladder problems. And let me tell you, that is not any better.
I know. I don't want that either.
No.
Corey's had that. Bill's had that.
It's
No.
awful.
Can we just not with all the stones?
Too many stones.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, crystals and stones can also be a pipeline.
Yes.
Literally anything can be a pipeline.
Anything can be a pipeline, babe.
But as far as, like, the alt-right pipeline, there's not just one. It's not just, like, this kind of straightforward, I'm going online and looking at these forums and then, I'm an alt-right. Like, of course. Because they can also include, well, it's really anything that directs people to the alt-right is an alt-right pipeline. So that can include video games, fitness groups. There's a lot of like
we'll get to it.
Fascist fitness groups.
A lot.
Mommy bloggers and trad wives.
Yep.
Clean eating culture, which will often promote a distrust in regulatory bodies.
Raw milk.
Are we
RFK
making
Jr.?
America healthy again?
Mm-hmm.
Anti-vax.
Mm-hmm.
Even like celebrity gossip, which can just like perpetuate all of these negative stereotypes about women.
Mm-hmm.
Diets, which is a quick slide into eugenics in a lot of circles, and even true crime.
Mm-hmm.
Like we sensationalize stories about, perpetrators who are men of color and like immigrants and like home invasions and the boogeyman.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at everyone with suspicion when in reality, most perpetrators are like your
People look
ex-boyfriend
just like
or
you.
your current boyfriend. It's someone you know. It's someone who's already in your home. It's not a random black man breaking into your home.
No.
Like that's not
common.
That's not what's going on. So yes, true crime can act as a pipeline. And I think that I hope that we do our due diligence in dispelling that and preventing our show to be any sort of pipeline to anything other than like, I don't know, I can talk to some other people online who also have a dark sense of humor, maybe go to Mexico City with us, or, I don't want to be a pipeline.
Right.
But that's the thing.
We want to be a pipeline to fun and open dialogue and good conversation and unlearning ingrained behaviors and biases.
Yeah.
Which, is hard to do. But like, no, it's true. I mean, we have to be really careful too when we're covering stories, especially about and around people of color, because your sources are also biased. And like, we have to really slow down and look at, and we try to do this, I feel like, with any case that we cover, regardless of an individual's race, religion, or creed. But like, I think that's why we try to look so hard at the things that have been put in place or that existed that allowed this person to get, the perpetrator to get to where they are now. And a lot of times we come across the same stuff over and over again. It's like systemic disparities, lack of resources, lack of care, lack of attention. Like, those are problems that are worth looking at. And that doesn't stop at, black and brown people do this and white people do this. It's like nothing exists on that kind of binary, period.
And you can also have like, you can like sort of have ownership over a system that goes A to B to C to D or whatever, like sort of the same way we're describing this pipeline. But if that pipeline is under your control and you are not taking steps to make sure that those rapids that, you're going down the river over these rapids, if the rapids aren't problematic, like you just have to have control over what anyone could perceive as a pipeline that you have ownership over.
Right.
You have to be intentional and deliberate. And
definitely
come back to this.
I think there's a lot that felt really close to like and I'm sure I'll get roasted for bringing this up, but I don't care, about the conversation around like Taylor Swift's newest album.
Well,
and
we'll get to
the
it.
new merch.
We're going to get to it. We'll both get roasted at the same time.
Okay. Because I think it's important to talk about.
It is important to talk about.
All right. I'm glad you're glad you're including it.
Yes. Also, kudos to Mr. Foxwell for talking at length about that particular subject because it is important to understand. Mm-hmm. But we'll get to it in just a few minutes. Okay.
Because I spill water all over my breast.
Ooh, wet gray sweatshirt contest.
You love a wet gray sweatshirt.
Okay, so YouTube is frequently cited as like very much key to the alt-right pipeline. Oh my God, I did this and I didn't even mean to. The alt-right key.
Oh God, I don't.
I'm so sorry I did that. I think that was just reflexive when I said the word alt-right.
Sometimes you put your fingers together. Sometimes unintentionally.
I was just gesticulating. Okay.
People not watching on YouTube are like, what is she talking about? I promise she did not like make an outward gesture from her heart to a crowd. She made like actually made like an A-OK.
It was an A-OK situation. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have really even pointed it out, but if I hadn't, someone else might have, and that would have been worse.
I'm so pissed that like alt-right fuckers stole that shit because we used to play that game all the time at work.
Yeah,
where you would like
the
put the A-OK
game
down. Yeah, and then if they look down, you get to punch them. Bring it back. Bring back the punching game.
Well, bring back the punching game, but also like this was this was several years ago, but there's a friend of mine who was like, that's not fair that I can't do that anymore. Who's a guy, obviously.
Of course.
That I can't do that anymore. That just means okay. And I'm like, well, it doesn't anymore. And you as a white man needs to understand that you're not going to be the one to reclaim the okay sign.
No, you're not.
Jesus, you're just going to get way fewer dates.
Yep.
Okay, so YouTube. They began using algorithms to feed personalized content to users in 2005. Mm-hmm. It was a really long time
Since early days. Yeah, 20 years.
Also, I didn't know this. YouTube uniquely has something called an alternative influence network. And this is in which various right-wing scholars, pundits, and internet personalities interact with each other to boost performance of their content, like as a group.
We'll kind of talk about that. And that's part of the idea of parallel economy. Do you talk about parallel economy?
No, but I talk about something else that I don't see the word for it here. We'll get to it.
But yeah, it's basically just like a creation of like-minded.
Oh, algorithm hijacking.
That too. But yeah, that we'll talk about the parallel economy thing, but this is very much in line with that, where it's like we support each other's ideas and then we can create this like sustainable economy of like-minded people for a nefarious purpose.
That sounds very socialist of them, honestly.
Yeah. I don't think that they were thinking that well when
that sounds like a very socialist concept, you guys.
Yeah, you're really pulling each other up by each other's bootstraps over here, buds.
Oh, no.
Community care. Alt-right community care. God bless that. It's only okay when you fuckers do it.
God damn it. That's
but the
so
shit that you'll
stupid.
see pop up in that like parallel economy window is interesting. And I'll go over several examples. Don't worry.
I can't wait. I really can't wait. So these figures may vary in their ideologies between conservatism, libertarianism, or white nationalism, but they do share a common opposition to feminism, progressivism, and social justice that allows viewers of one of these figures to quickly acclimate to another. So as soon as you're done with the video of the person you're already following, you're gonna get rolled into this other person who's also in this network.
Yup.
They often prioritize right-wing social issues over right-wing economic issues, with little discussion of fiscal conservatism, which I always thought was the cornerstone of the Republican Party, but apparently not.
No, now it's just a bullshit thing that you say to hopefully keep people from thinking you're a fucking white nationalist. But guess what?
Well, that veil is
Thin.
Some individuals in this network may not interact with one another, but a collection of interviews, internet debates, and other interactions create pathways for users to be introduced to new content. So it might not be direct, and it might not them be like clicking likes on all of their friends' videos, but it is like a system.
Yep.
It's a wheel that turns.
Mm-hmm.
I also found out that there's an informal group of creators on YouTube called BreadTube.
Tell me more.
Not to be confused with a literal bread tube, which we use to make shaped bread.
Okay. Well, then I'm out.
Well,
It's the only bread tube I want.
the video content version of BreadTube is like the left version of that alternative influence network.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a group of creators that have come together that are sort of leveraging the same tactics as AIN for ideologically opposite groups.
Right.
And I don't know if these people were necessarily the creators of BreadTube, which is, again, just a group on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
If they started it or if they were just like initial kind of influencers on this network, but it was women who came as a result of Gamergate.
Okay.
And just like this rush of like manosphere red pill bullshit online.
Yeah.
So they were
they
like,
needed their own
we
place.
have got to make a place for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So also the term BreadTube derives from Peter Kropotkin's book called The Conquest of Bread, which explains how to achieve anarchist communism and how an anarchist communism society would function.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah. So
Into
it's
it.
hard the other way.
Yeah.
So they basically, when we were I've mentioned algorithm hijacking. It's not using the exact same tactics. It's not that they're supporting each other's videos. It's that they're linking the metadata of their videos to mimic the metadata of these alt-right videos that those users' algorithms are already drawn to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they'll talk about the same subjects that like, oh, this recent run of these videos is about, Gaza or whatever. And
what makes like the health and wellness pipeline that we're going to talk about, it's like so easy when it's pretty easy to hijack algorithms by just speaking adjacently.
It's just parallels,
and then not even overtly covering certain kind of like dog whistly subjects in those videos. You just do enough to get on that timeline and then slowly start to incorporate like, oh, I'm going to promote this business or I'm going to talk about, a book I read from this writer and it's like, oh shit. Okay. We're going down a different direction here.
Yep.
And it can be so subtle that you don't always
It can be so
notice.
seamless.
Yeah.
The fucking frog in the fucking boiling water, man.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I think BreadTube they're doing it in a really smart way of like using the same system, but like gaming it against itself. Oh, well, not against itself, but against the primary benefactors of such system.
Right.
Okay, so like I said, anything can be a pipeline. And not all pipelines are necessarily bad or nefarious. However, like we said, a pipeline exists as itself, like in a neutral state, but it takes someone or something leveraging the pipeline to turn it into something else. And opportunism tends to lead back to money and power. So I think the most effective and ubiquitous pipelines are probably nefarious because they are manipulative, because someone is behind that. And It always
wanting
leads
to
back money.
achieve some sort of end. Yeah.
It leads back to money. So let's talk about some pipelines. Media serves as a pipeline, of course, where we are no longer dealing not only exclusively, but I think largely with mass media. Like every single person is consuming the same content.
Messaging. Yeah.
We're getting targeted ads on our social media and our, streams and everything. So highly personalized content is then also suggested to us on social media all the time, because really, where is the barrier between an ad and an article?
Right.
The line is extremely thin. The veil is very thin. And also, if you're not watching for it, you can totally you're legally supposed to put a disclaimer on articles that are, at the end of the day, an advertisement. But like, the line is too blurred.
Yeah.
We're so chronically online. People aren't looking for that little watermark, first of all. And second of all, who's holding this? Who's holding accountable?
Right.
I don't know. Our systems are fucking breaking left and right. So for the sake of this, there's a very little difference. And we don't really notice how this algorithm is kind of dragging us in certain directions over time. And it definitely does radicalize people. So here's a quote from an article from The Conversation. These social media radicalization pipelines work much the same way, whether recruiting jihadists or January 6th insurrectionists. Also, I should say right before that paragraph in the article, they were talking about how a lot of posts, memes, things like that are being written and published by not American sources.
Right. Yeah.
So a lot of this has to do with geopolitics, and the whole motive behind this is just disruption.
Yep.
It's to divide people. It's to get people riled up and pissed off, because then everything is destabilized, and it's much easier to manipulate, to take over, to control, to manipulate a destabilized government. Which, hi, here we are.
Yeah, we may as well just be holding the door open.
Okay. So the quote goes on to say, you may feel like you are, quote, doing your own research, moving from one source to another, but you're really following a deliberate radicalization pipeline that's designed to move you toward more and more extreme content at whatever pace you will tolerate. So earlier in the article, it was saying like mass media was one thing, but it could only push you as quickly as like the general average would allow.
Right.
It had to be a lot more calculated and slow, and it just moved a lot slower. So there was a lot less capacity to radicalize at the
just
rate in
which spin out of control.
Yeah. So that was the difference between the mass media days and now this targeted marketing days. So for example, after analyzing over 72 million user comments on over 330,000 videos posted across 349 YouTube channels. It's a lot of comments on 349 channels. Researchers found that users consistently migrated from milder to more extreme content. We're not going the other way.
No.
We're only going downstream.
And that's intentional. That's like the big, wide open mouth of the funnel to see who stays in and then goes into the more narrow, extreme.
Yeah.
Like a kidney stone.
It is a river.
Who will be passed.
It is a upper intestine. You don't go the other way. So the result of these radicalization pipelines is apparent. Rather than most people having moderate views with fewer people holding extreme views, fewer and fewer people are actually in the middle. Another example of a pipeline, like I said, anything can be a fucking pipeline. Religion, organized religion. So a person might say, I love my fellow man. I love humanity. I have empathy for all people. But my evangelical religion, for example, tells me that suffering in this life makes it worth heaven in the afterlife. And therefore, even though I love my child, I'm going to send them to conversion therapy. It's like, you see the pipeline, you have a faith, you have a worldview, you have something that you love and believe in. And then that faith tells you, well, gay people are bad.
Yeah.
Well, you have to take care of your children. Well, C, D, E, and F, and then you are your child's worst traumatizer.
Yeah.
Anything can be, and I think like those things that you love and the things that you have the most faith in are the things that you have to think the most critically about. Last thing I'll get to before the big one, burnout. I found an article that burnout itself is a pipeline.
Yeah.
So this is from psypost.org, P-S-Y, Psy.
Got it.
Psychiatry, psychology. Quote, this phenomenon can be explained through the combined lens of 3 established psychological theories. The first is general strain theory, which suggests that daily frustrations lead to violent extremism through the experience of negative emotions. Ugh, I had a bad day. Ugh, I want to go shoot someone. That's kind of just what
the condensed version of the pipeline, yeah.
Well, that's one of the 3 things that make up the pipeline.
Okay.
So the second is the existential model of burnout, which links burnout to a failed existential quest when meaningfulness in work disappears.
Okay.
I do not mean anything to my job, to my company. Why am I even here?
Yeah. What's the point?
Last is significance quest theory, which argues that when the sense of personal significance is eroded in people's everyday lives, they might look elsewhere, including to radical beliefs to restore meaning. Kind of like, I mean, all of these remind me of that fucking movie that I know I've mentioned so many times. Michael Douglas has a really bad day, and then he starts shooting up fucking everywhere.
Yeah. I know what movie you're talking about, but I never remember the name of it either, but yes. He's got his briefcase,
it's
his
a
glasses.
really fucking good movie. Yeah. Yeah, he's really hot in that movie.
I wouldn't say it's really fucking good.
It's a good movie.
But it's fine.
Michael Douglas briefcase. Oh, Falling Down. Why did I find it with Michael Douglas briefcase?
Because you've looked this up before, and because I've intentionally watched it because you loved it so much, and then I came back to you and was like, I don't know why you love that movie so much.
No, that was Gladiator.
That too. It's been both. It's been both. Roll the tape. Andrea's probably got a freaking timestamp.
Andrea, no. Don't betray me like this.
You are not going to get me down the Falling Down or Gladiator pipeline. It's not going to happen.
It already did, honey.
I watched them.
Yeah.
I didn't go down the pipeline the way that you did.
Well, I'm also just a slut for Michael Douglas movies, too. I love each and every one of them.
Oh, my God. We were looking for something to watch in bed last night, and I'll Never Tell, or whatever that movie is, with Brittany Murphy.
Oh,
I'll never tell.
I'll never tell.
That like started auto playing, and Bill and I slowly started getting sucked in, and I was like, no, we can't start this right now. It's like 9:30 p.m. I need more time.
That's the one where like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade is like a big part of it.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Oh,
it's a rigmarole. But yeah, that's going on the list.
Hell yeah. Okay. Okay, Falling Down, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so these things in combination, these 3 ideas, particularly the existential and significant quest models, suggest that burnout reflects a failed search for meaning, one that may drive individuals toward violent extremism as a means of restoration. Also, general strain theory further contributes by emphasizing the emotional path involved in this process. They just threw that in. That's like the failure to signal component of this particular analysis. Okay, so dare I bring it up? Oh, wait, we already have. Taylor
There's no way
Swift
we couldn't.
Is a pipeline. And listen, we've already done Taylor Swift crimes. in which I expressed my apathy to Taylor Swift and Amanda expressed her disdain for Taylor Swift.
I wouldn't even call it disdain. I just never got into her, and people were really mad about it.
No, you didn't like her because she was the white supremacist upholding, etc. So
I stand by it.
You should, because we're going to discuss how she herself is a pipeline. And again, I will reiterate that pipelines can start out as a benign, literally anything. But the way that they evolve, who they are used by, who they are leveraged by,
and who does or does not intervene to stop them.
Who doesn't do shit to stop any
matters
bad stuff about it. Yeah, that's all factored in. So you can start by liking her music. She is a very talented writer. She's had some bops. I liked the Romeo and Juliet song when it came out because my cousin wouldn't stop listening to it, and it's kind of an earworm. So then you buy her records, and then you kind of start engaging with the fandom online, and you start sort of talking about how she's leaving clues in her songs and
Easter eggs.
She's kind of actually only dating white dudes and like whatever. She's a white gal from one of the original 13 colonies. And
yeah, is she from Pennsylvania?
Yes. And her dad works for like fucking Merrill Lynch or something.
Yeah.
And then she's selling 6 different packagings of the same album. Do you know about this?
Oh, yeah.
And
the
then
consumerism in the Taylor Swift universe is really wild.
Maybe it's only 4, but then you put them together. I don't know if this is a rumor, but I think they form a fucking swastika on the back when you put them together to build like the clock face. Let me Google it really quick. A separate accusation that gained traction on social media alleges that arranging the 4 specific variant covers in a certain configuration can form a swastika shape. Okay.
Of which album? Of this most recent album? Life of a Showgirl?
No, this is Midnight's.
Because, yeah, she's done variations of almost every album that she's put out since, like, the whole Taylor's version thing.
So that in itself is really wacky, I think. So I can't verify the swastika with the album thing. Apparently that's with the Midnight's album. But it's still out there. And even if it's not necessarily true, the fact that it's a widespread rumor because she's so influential and because people listen to this, not her music, but like listen to this kind of chatter about her, it has pretty much the same effect. And also she's dating like a big white American football player with like a huge dick. And whatever. We're all talking about his huge dick.
God, that song. I won't listen to it.
The only one I've listened to is the Alt-Lite one that is, people are saying the Alt-Lite and Onyx duality.
Yep.
There are too many people that are working on her team.
Yes, that's
for
the thing.
this to be excusable.
Even if she, as an individual, was not intentionally putting racially charged or undertoned lyrics. I wouldn't notice
that if I hadn't seen other people pointing it out.
Right, but that speaks to an intense lack of diversity on her team, that there was no one. And, like, I can't believe that there was no one who didn't know how that would come across and just went, no, that works. That's, like, perfectly on brand.
Yeah.
It's shady.
Black, bad, white, good.
I want to fill a cul-de-sac of kids that look like us. Little white children.
Ooh.
Come on, y'all.
The necklace.
The necklace. Jesus Christ.
So the necklace.
Where is it?
I think they pulled it off the website.
Finally? I'm going to check.
I think they did. But it was like the lightning bolts, and there were, what was it, 8 and 8? So it was H and H. And then there was like
it's like SS. The lightning bolts.
They were lined up, but there were 8 of them.
Yeah, there are 8 lightning bolts and also an 8 point star. Which 8 the whole thing with 88, that's the eighth letter of the alphabet. The eighth letter of the alphabet is H for.
I think it was like the even legged cross, because that's like its own fucking, you know what? Look it up. Because I don't want to say anything on here that's like not totally accurate. But that said, there are a billion problematic things with that goddamn Taylor Swift necklace. And hopefully she did pull it off. I think she did. Also, by the way, we are recording this way before it is released. So stop yelling. Okay.
They're going to yell anyway.
Also, some people online have been saying since 2016 that she's an Aryan goddess. So this is from a May 2016 Vice article entitled "Can't Shake It Off: How Taylor Swift Became a Nazi Idol." And here's an interview. It starts off with an interview from Andre Anglin, who is the writer of the white supremacist blog The Daily Stormer. So he says, firstly, Taylor Swift is a pure Aryan goddess, like something out of classical Greek poetry. Athena reborn. That's the most important thing. It's also an established fact that Taylor Swift is secretly a Nazi and is simply waiting for the time when Donald Trump makes it safe for her to come out and announce her Aryan agenda to the world. Probably she will be betrothed to Trump's son and they will be crowned American royalty.
Can you imagine?
I don't know.
That would be the worst.
It's unclear when the white supremacists started writing blog posts about their Taylor Swift fandom. Anglin believes Swift Nazi memes may have existed since her Teardrop on My Guitar days, which was a really long time ago.
Yeah.
He says, quote, some believe it was meme magic that made her famous, though no one can be certain. We are certain that as soon as Nazis saw her, they were magnetically drawn to her sculpted Aryan form and angelic demeanor. This sounds so fucking stupid.
It's really gross.
But this is how it started. So first, there were a lot of memes that were created by people who just wanted to be provocative and go viral. So they were like aligning Taylor Swift with Adolf Hitler.
And she's perfect as a target for that because she's
a country music star.
Popular.
She's white. She's thin. She's from Pennsylvania. The Merrill Lynch dad. She's the perfect. I mean, she is a model for Aryan worship, I guess. Not saying anything about how she thinks, but like physically, and that's all they care about. She's a woman. They don't give a shit about what she thinks.
Yeah, exactly.
She's a skinny blonde. Okay. Also, these memes weren't taken down because of parody laws, because they were so fucking dumb. And then the quote goes on to say, and again, this was in May of 2016, quote, now actual fascists adore Swift. The Daily Stormer has published 24 posts about her, including Aryan goddess Taylor Swift accused of racism for behaving like an ape in a music video.
What the fuck?
And, quote, memification. Top feminist calls Taylor Swift a Nazi. And then, of course, Milo Yiannopoulos, whatever that fucking guy's name is. He points out, blogger Michael Collins worries that Swift has, quote, succumbed to the merchant, which is Nazi code for Jewish.
Yikes.
I hate everything I'm going to say. So this is the quote. This is the quote. Anglin says, quote, it's incredible, really, that she's surrounded by these filthy, perverted Jews, and yet she remains capable of exuding 1950s purity, femininity, and innocence. She is the anti-Miley. While Miley is out having gangbangs with colored gentlemen, she is at home with her cat reading Jane Austen.
Yeah. What the fuck? These people are sick. And, like, obviously she can't control who is having these, like, sick, perverse, racially charged fantasies.
It is
about
a fantasy.
It's
all a fantasy.
That's what this is. And we're not saying that she's responsible for it.
And she has never publicly endorsed Nazis. That's not really the point because, like I said, the pipeline is just a pipeline until somebody else takes control of it.
Right.
Because on itself, it's neutral. This woman has every resource imaginable at her fingertips at any hour of the day. She also has incredible influence over her fans.
And if your fans are moving in this direction and you claim to like care about them,
or some of your fans are white supremacist Nazis with saying out loud,
denounce them, maybe.
Our hero's a Nazi. Taylor's a Nazi. Wouldn't you want to say, no, I'm fucking not?
And there are plenty of Swifties
the fuck out of here
who are like, well, didn't you watch blah, 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 her little social justice thing about how much she hates Donald Trump? Like, okay, where has she been since then? You know, it's like the responsibility of her power in the zeitgeist doesn't begin and end with in 2016, she was vocal about not voting for Donald Trump. Like, that's great. But there's a whole lot else.
That was way later than 2016. And that's kind of the only thing that at least I'm aware of that she's come out to say.
Really
she's never come out to say with her full chest repeatedly that she denounces white supremacy specifically because of these rumors and this association with Nazis. She has also not yet, as we're recording, denounced that fucking necklace.
Also, what is it like the leave the kids with me, I protect the family? This like black baseball cap with like white block lettering on it that like, I know we have something that's black and white that says I am not well, but this is like one of the most.
That means don't leave the kids with me.
Right. But this is one of the most like Blue Lives Matter, like MAGA coded hats I have seen in a long
Trad
time.
Wife, Mama
Not even, it's made
Mama
for
Bear.
men. It's made for fucking men to wear to the football game.
Oh, it is?
I guarantee
that's terrible. Well, okay.
It's gross. I hate it. I hate that hat.
The point is, whether or not Taylor Swift endorses Nazis has been a very real conversation for
a long
almost
time.
a decade.
And we should be able to immediately point to all the things that she has said and done to go, nope, I denounce this. I do not align with this. And
she's not a normal person. We pay her so much money for her artistry and her shows and her merch and her talent and her songs and all that stuff. And that's great, but that means that she has got to be held to account for something as fucking crazy as this.
Yeah. And honestly, if the only... I disagree that this is the only problem, but let's say the only problem we want to point to in this moment is that she does not have a team surrounding her that will help her to be accountable and help her keep out of this kind of hot water. Well, that in and of itself is also a problem. She is a multi-billionaire. She has the money to pay a skilled team to make sure that she is being like culturally competent across all these different, lines of her fandom, because there are plenty of fans that are Black, brown, Jewish. Like she's not only followed and adored by white women.
Well, and if her America's Sweetheart documentary persona is at all authentic, she would want to hear this. She would want to hear from people with a diverse perspective, maybe pointing out that you're selling dog whistles
and writing them into your lyrics.
Girl, what are you doing?
No,
if it's not intentional, then stop doing it.
Right. And obviously, marginalized people are not a monolith. We've talked about this a million times. There will be marginalized people who were offended by her lyrics. There will be marginalized people who were not.
Yes,
but the point is to do the least amount of harm, right? And so if enough people have spoken up and said, hey, this is offensive, we should be taking steps to not be offensive. We don't need to wait for everyone to agree that it's offensive before we decide, you know what? I want to do some harm reduction, so I'm going to dial that back. Like she has agency, she has options, she has resources to be able to do all of these things. And it has been eerily quiet as everybody gets super excited about their wedding.
Oh, they're getting married?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. They've been engaged for a minute now.
Okay. Well.
I can't wait for what's-her-face Mahomes to be her maid of honor.
Brittany?
Yep. They're homegirls now.
That's super.
Yeah.
But this all kind of goes back to say anything can be a pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
And it is most important that you examine the things that you enjoy, that you consume, that you pay money to.
And thereby support.
Mm-hmm. Anything that you engage in any way, you have to be critical of. Mm-hmm. And it's hard. So it's easier to start with being critical with things that aren't super close to your heart. Mm-hmm. Give you a little bit of practice for identifying the bullshit tomfoolery that's just circling fucking everywhere else you look.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to kind of end us on a little bit of a funny note, there was a recent Politico article that I read called How to Start an Alt-Left Pipeline.
Hell yeah,
so I was wondering why there aren't any Alt-Left pipelines.
We all have ADHD. We cannot get you across the finish line. Show me a project and I will start it.
Well,
but I will not finish it.
It's mostly about like gym bros. Are you familiar with Hassan? What's his name? Hassan
Piker?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me make sure.
So he's kind of like the alt-left gym bro sort of. He's got glasses. He was recently in, people thought he had a shock collar on his dog. I don't know if that's true, but like.
That was a little bit of a bullshit smear campaign on him. But yes, I know who he is.
He does like live streams. He's also like super stacked and pretty hot, but like.
He's really hot.
He's a gym bro.
He's a
gym bro. It's kind of a problem. See, the Hassan Piker pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, this article was about like gym bro leftists, and there were just some really good quotes from these guys. I think they were all taken off of TikTok, but they're in this article, and it's like guys who were like pumping like 25-pound like dumbbells and like talking to the camera. And one of them says, "My mustache is as strong as my advocacy for the working class. I believe every American should have access to healthcare, housing, and food.
Hell yeah.
I'm pro-abortion.
Yes.
I'm pro-2A. I'm all about common sense and taking care of my fellow Americans.
Let's fucking go."
And then another post says, I liked this one because of the tone.
Yeah.
It says, "You should be working your ass off in the gym to build muscle and get stronger. Then use that strength and confidence to uplift and speak for those who need it.
Fuck yeah."
Everyone should try to prioritize their health, and that's why affordable health care should be a universal right."
Oh, I love it. I love this.
Yeah. So gym bros.
Mm-hmm. Use your power for good, leftist gym bros.
So, and how you can like empower yourself and prevent yourself from falling down a pipeline, because again, they're fucking everywhere in this age. We're all midway down a million pipelines at any moment, but just to like be aware. So critical thinking and analysis of literally everything you consume and love and have faith in is crucial to this kind of pipeline literacy. So recognizing patterns and also intent will help you identify any aspect of a pipeline that could potentially do harm. If you step back and think like, who is this message coming from, and how could they benefit more than me? Yeah.
And being open to hearing from people that don't have the same lived experience as you, telling you things that you might not want to hear. I feel like it's really clear in like the Swiftyverse, but I think that this is very applicable to like a lot of very polarizing topics and conversations of our current moment, that like this thing that you believe, be it Taylor Swift in this example, this thing that you believe in, this person that you believe in, this thing that you've devoted so much of yourself to and have aligned so much of your personhood with, it's very hard and scary and dysregulating to suddenly be faced with the potential, the possibility, I'm not even saying the reality, I'm just saying the possibility that that person might not be everything that you were told and might not be.
Or just challenging that perspective in the first place.
And I think sometimes all of us are susceptible to this, having either a fandom or worldview, whatever, become so close that it becomes a defining part of your personhood and your personality. Mm-hmm. And so to have that be kind of picked at, or that be confronted, can feel so much bigger than, oh, they're saying something about Taylor Swift and I should probably pay attention to that. It's like, we get into this thing where it's like, well, if this fandom that I have been so ingrained in for my whole life and I've made so much a part of my personhood is problematic, does that make me problematic?
No.
And that's not what the ultimate question needs to be. It's the ultimate question needs to be, you know, people are not necessarily inherently good or bad, but we do have to be willing to grow and change and adjust our worldview, or we are just as bad as any other like MAGA whatever who refuses to be challenged. And if we're not willing to be open to hearing from other people and seeing the impact that things that people say and do can have on others who don't look just like us, like saying that myopic is what's problematic. Being open to that conversation and recognizing like, oh shit, I've been a little duped and what I used to love has changed and I can hold what I used to love and now I can move forward with better understanding. That's not problematic. It's not problematic that you like Taylor Swift, like whatever. No, but we can hold her fucking accountable. We can hold people like her accountable, and we can grow and adjust and listen to the people who are saying like, hey, this is my lived experience as, say, a Black woman or a Jewish woman or whatever. And this is what this stuff is dog whistling to us. This is what this stuff is signaling to us. And that's not okay. And just because me as a, you know, cisgendered white woman who is not on those racial or religious lines of intersectionality. Or
country music lines.
Right. I can still have the capacity to go, okay, yeah, if that's causing harm to even this many people, we shouldn't be engaging with it. Like, we shouldn't be supporting it. So let's not.
Yeah. Not taking it personally, and like you said, not sort of adopting these external forces, whether it's a person or an ideology or a bias even, and making that, like absorbing that into your identity. Because that's not you. That's something else. It's something you might enjoy or find comfort in, etc.
Or might have been taught or might have been raised in.
But I don't think anything that you love or that is important to you should be exempt from skepticism.
Correct. Or critique.
And questioning, because everything is complex. And if you're wondering to yourself like, oh, is it really that deep? It is. Everything is that deep. And that does not mean you need to be paranoid or start to think that everything is a conspiracy. But there are a lot, I mean, our society and our world is very, very complicated. There are a lot of strings being pulled by everything around us. And that's not necessarily by like individuals or, you know, the left or the right or George Soros or like whatever the fuck. But maybe just driven by systems, because it's really the machine is always moving and it's always just going with the status quo. And unfortunately, in this country, our status quo is racism, misogyny, xenophobia, greed, you know, those things. So that is where things are gonna skew if these pipelines are not controlled, maintained with intention. So we just have to be really aware. And I think some ways you can do that are reading books, getting different people's perspectives, talking to people. Like I said, being intentional with what you're thinking, reading, consuming, being skeptical of all of it.
Yeah. And honestly, and also engage with and pay for anti-racism education, because it really does, like, white supremacy is so deeply at the center of so many of these intersectional issues. And so it really does
question everything.
It helps you question everything, and it really helps you create like a firm foundation of knowledge and understanding so that you can recognize dog whistles when they are there, that you can engage in these conversations that fight against your worldview that we as white people have been indoctrinated in without putting up walls immediately and going, oh, no, 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 no. It's like, it helps you build the tools to be able to stay in the fight and have those conversations in such a wide reaching way. Mm-hmm. So it's helpful.
And just like finding these ways to just have control over your worldview will make you feel so much more in power. And that will also make you less susceptible to pipelines in general.
Yep. The massive pipeline of indoctrination. She's coming for all of us. She's trying.
It's all about indoctrination.
Yeah, that's the goal.
And
ultimately.
it's gonna pull you towards the center of American society, which is racism
not
and greed.
Cute.
It's not good. It's not what we would think our morals would be. So pay attention. Mm-hmm. Pay attention.
Well, I'm going to give you a little more to pay attention to after we take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors, / you take a minute to go sign up for Wine and Crime Uncorked and get an hour pipeline.
We'll be right back.
You may have heard of HelloFresh because they're the #1 meal kit in America, making home cooking easier with chef-crafted recipes and fresh ingredients delivered straight to your door. But this fall, they're serving up even more to love. This is not the HelloFresh you remember, baby. Tell us more.
Oh my gosh, this is a total revamp. This HelloFresh is bigger. HelloFresh has doubled its menu. So now you can choose from 100 options every week, including new seasonal dishes and recipes from around the world. Let me tell you, I have been craving Greek food since we were in Greece a few months ago. I zeroed in on this chicken Euro couscous bowl.
Oh.
You know I love a good bowl.
You also love couscous. Like,
I
couscous hates to see you coming because she'll be gone.
Seriously does. It's got beautiful chicken, hummus, tomato cucumber salad, and a creamy feta sauce. Yeah. I'm so hungry. These portions are also bigger, so everyone's going to be satisfied. Their menu is also healthier. You can feel great with an even healthier menu. Choose from over 15 high-protein recipes each week with options like grass-fed ribeyes or lamb chops. HelloFresh now helps you eat greener with new veggie pack recipes that have 2 or more veggies per dish. It's also even more delicious than before.
So good.
You can get steak and seafood recipes delivered every week for no extra cost, now with 3 times the seafood options.
Love that.
I'm in a seafood season myself. You can also appreciate whatever season you're in with hearty fall recipes like classic beef chili or honey glazed pork, tenderloin. Good Lord. Anything with like a mustard sauce.
Get out of here.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Discover new seasonal produce each week from leeks to broccolini to Italian eggplant, so much more. You are going to eat better. You're going to be more confident in the kitchen because their recipes are so easy to follow. And you're going to be real full because there won't be any leftovers.
So the best way to cook just got better. Go to HelloFresh.com/gals10fm now to get 10 free meals plus a free breakfast for life. 1 per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. That's HelloFresh.com/gals10fm to get 10 free meals plus free breakfast for life.
Between work, errands, cleaning, childcare, whatever the group chat is spiraling about today, life very rarely slows down. But you don't need to wait for the perfect moment to arise. Romance is ready when you are. Whether it's a quick escape or an all-night binge, Galatea puts steamy, swoon-worthy stories right at your fingertips.
For real. Galatea is a reading app where anyone craving a little me time can dive into a library of romance stories that leave you feeling recharged and fulfilled. There are over 1,000 bestsellers to choose, from shifter romance to bad boy billionaires, forbidden love, slow burn fantasy, teen drama, and much, much more. Truly, if you're into it, they probably got it. Galatea is home to original series and standalone stories with an exclusive catalog of best-selling authors. I really love that because if you just want like a little quick bite, but you don't want to, have to wait for a whole book to see what happens, those standalone stories are super fun. And they have new chapters and series dropping every week, so there's always something new to explore. If you're a voracious reader, they have got the catalog for you. Over 30 million people have fallen in love with reading on Galatea. Join now to indulge in stories that make you feel like yourself again.
Right now, Galatea is offering our listeners an extra 25% off on top of an already irresistibly affordable subscription when you go to galatea.com/gals. That's GALATEA.com/gals to indulge in unlimited stories for even less. Galatea.com/gals.
Are you ready for my segment?
Yes, I think.
As you know, I'm diving today into a disturbing trend that researchers call the Wellness-to-Fascism pipeline. Sounds like a lot.
Cool.
But remember, fascism encompasses a lot of things. It's mostly really just like wellness to alt-right, which, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
The golden pathway to fucking fascism. And this describes how the seemingly benign world of holistic health, organic foods, personal fitness is being used by white nationalists and far-right extremists as a sophisticated recruitment tool and camouflage. So, again, like the Taylor Swift thing, it's not that yoga is bad.
Right.
It's that people using yoga for a nefarious end and then practitioners of yoga who don't align with that nefarious end don't speak out about it, that creates the bad part.
Yeah.
And only
the bad stuff.
And only serves to strengthen the pipeline. So how does an interest in essential oils or yoga lead someone down a white supremacist rabbit hole? Good question. And it may sound silly, but like, it's supposed to sound a little silly. That's part of the cover. Like, again, with the Taylor Swift thing, it's like, it's supposed to have that plausible deniability to be like, do you really think Taylor Swift was sitting in her room writing these lyrics, trying to spark a race war? No.
It's the A to F thing.
Yes.
It's not A to F.
Yeah.
It's a fucking daisy chain.
Correct.
That was intentionally put there.
Correct.
Or I guess is intentionally being manipulated to bring you somewhere specific.
So in my segment, I spent a lot of the time exploring the tactics, the warning signs, and the real world examples of this dangerous evolution in extremist recruitment. And before anybody wants to like scoff, like this is the kind of shit that got RFK Jr. into the position of Secretary of Health. And I've heard very reasonable people who are, for the most part, pretty aligned where I am politically, even say like, well, I kind of agree with XYZ that RFK Jr. has said. And it's like, okay, but you can't pull a snippet. It has to be the encompassing, you know, shit that he stands on. Just because like, okay, yeah, great. Maybe we
the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah, maybe we should take certain dyes out of foods, but I'd rather have those dyes in foods and have vaccines.
Hello, I'm eating a green Snickers right now.
Yeah, give me the dyes.
Everything is dyed. Give me a break.
All that to say, this is real shit. We should not ignore it. For decades, the wellness industry has promised health and fulfillment, often by counteracting the stress and alienation of the industrialized world, which on its surface, again, totally fine. I do yoga too, y'all. So like those practices are not inherently negative, and I don't want to come across as claiming that they are. Where we get into trouble is where the wellness industry champions ideas of purity through things like clean eating, returning to nature, and ancient wisdom. This very language of purity and tradition is very easy for white nationalists to exploit, and that's what they are exploiting. So,
and it does start out as like inferences. It starts out so subtle.
Yep. I read a bunch of different studies too. So like one of them, this first one that I'm going to pull from, is a QAnon study conducted by Christopher T. Connor of the University of Missouri Department of Sociology. And he found the following, quote, using a qualitative ethnographic approach, I analyzed 1,000 hours of QAnon content. This is similar to your YouTube study. 1,000 hours of QAnon content produced by 100 QAnon influencers. I created a database of 4,104 images, including tweets, screenshots, and other static forms of communication, and 122 videos. We found 3 separate cultural entry points not typically associated with the movement: yoga and wellness groups, neo-shamanistic circles, and psychics. By colonizing these spaces, which is essentially what creates a pipeline, colonization of a benign space, QAnon was able to embed itself, disguise its abrasive features, and go largely unnoticed by the general public. And that snippet of research is supported by a lot of other research into wellness content. So extremism researchers note that the concept of wellness itself is susceptible to like racist dog whistles. Historically, fitness movements in the West carried racial undertones, suggesting things like white men shouldn't grow weaker than immigrant laborers, that like they'll take our jobs kind of shit.
Oh, God.
More recently,
you're not taking those jobs.
You're definitely not, bitch. Not you, them.
Bitch.
More recently.
No, you just said it with such fervor. I loved it.
Oh, I get mad.
Bitch.
Practices like yoga, now often associated with progressive counterculture, were embraced by nationalist groups, including the Nazis in the 1920s and 1930s, who viewed yoga as a tool to cultivate, quote, purity of blood and soil.
Oh, no, not the blood and soil.
Today, white nationalists, often referred to as granola Nazis, are successfully adopting the language.
Noli Nazis.
Ugh. God. Are successfully adopting the language and imagery of wellness culture. They are seeking to infiltrate subcultures that already have some resonance with their symbols and ideas, just as neo-Nazis once infiltrated the punk rock scene. Wellness is often coded as liberal or woke, and this association allows white nationalists to create a deceptively wholesome veneer, enabling them to operate more freely and normalize their views, even among participants who would seemingly never align with those ideas. And
okay,
that is the point.
I'm having a flash. You know,
Flash
I love my metaphysical fair, my Iowa metaphysical fair I like to go to every year. And there's always something really fucking off about it. But like, well, like we're talking about this holistic, spiritual, psychic kind of space being like kind of, it's like the horseshoe theory. You get so far to one side because I would expect, based on my own experience, that a space like that would be very progressive, liberal, free thinking. But then you also have like amongst these tables with like Reiki masseuse stuff, and then you see like MLM like wax melts and like essential oils, but it is like MLM stuff. And then there's this guy selling like Nordic sort of
the like neo-pagan with like weird stuff.
Yeah, like the Celtic cross and stuff like that. And it's like, some of this just feels really, it's a very odd intersection.
I feel like
I think that's a good place to sort of see it in the wild.
I feel like that's less horseshoe theory, because horseshoe theory is basically about like your ideas becoming so radicalized that they just circle back to like, you know, the opposite.
Yeah.
This is more
it's
infiltration.
Not that it's radical.
This is what you're talking about is more infiltration. And the whole point is that, like exactly what you said, this is a space that draws in progressive, holistic, free-thinking people, quote unquote. And that's where we can subtly put the funnel into our pipeline from who we believe to be fairly reasonable people who are just curious about the metaphysical into a more sinister space.
I just hadn't really identified it until this episode, this conversation.
It's pretty wild, and that's intentional, which is like, I think that's why this episode is like pretty fascinating, because we could literally, after taking in all of these ideas, every single one of us could point to something like that where it's like, oh yeah, I saw something that made me feel a little weird and I didn't know why that was, and now I wonder if this is why.
It's just kind of a weird misalignment, but also a misalignment that probably most people don't even see, and like to varying degrees. We're all in a pipeline, like we said.
Couched in that plausible deniability where it's like, oh no, they're not alt-right. They're just into these like runes, and they They're selling these products. What? No.
And it's not that deep, but it's always that deep because if it's possible, then it is.
That it's happening. Yeah.
It might not be every single person who gets into fucking runes and Celtic crosses becomes a Nazi. Obviously not.
And there are a lot of like really progressive pagan people who like follow those practices and don't adhere to the shit that it's been like. And would be
horrified to hear me associate their practices with this. And
Which
I
is
understand
why our discernment is important, because there are people who, like, it's the same shit with yoga. I practice yoga. I go like 3 times a week. I'm not getting into a holistic wellness alt-right pipeline, but it's good to like know so that as I continue this practice, but I go to a BIPOC owned, like queer owned yoga studio. I'm aligning myself with people who conduct that practice who are not affiliated with this other shit. So it's like doing that research when you're engaging in a cultural practice like that is so important. And that's really all we're urging you to do.
And beyond that, just being aware of the capacity for it.
Yeah, the infiltrators.
Just look out for yourself. Because there are predators everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. And unfortunately, white nationalists, pretty common predator.
Yep.
And they know that they're often perceived negatively. Like, as I love this example that I found in my research as, quote, backwoods hicks who wear white hoods or swastikas. That's like what you picture when you think of a white supremacist, but the reality is so much more sinister and can hide in plain sight. They actively probe new ways of presenting themselves to make outsiders less wary. And this is part of a, quote, secret agent tactic, where an extremist adopts an inconspicuous persona while casually introducing far-right ideas like race realism, which is a pseudoscientific racist ideology that claims inherent biological differences, including in intelligence and behavior, exist between races, which we know is not true. Or Holocaust denial, anti-vaccination, like these things that on their surface can seem, they're big old red flags without someone coming out and saying, I'm part of the KKK. But if people are starting to make comments that are like, you know, people of color and white people have like different brains, or maybe the Holocaust was overblown or wasn't a thing, or vaccines cause autism. Like, these are fucking major red flags.
Tiny little steps.
Correct.
That don't raise huge red flags.
Well,
that
and
don't give you major pause. It's just a little,
it's not someone just walking out of their house in a white hood. That's not how it's going to look by and large most times that you encounter white supremacy and white nationalism. It's just not. It's not going to look like that.
Until your community is super chill with it, and then maybe.
Correct. So, like, if you don't think that, if you don't think or believe that way, you may wonder how on earth you could be duped into taking in this rhetoric. So I want to go over some ways that they do it. The most common tactic is linguistic camouflage. So rather than using overt racist language of figures like Ben fucking Klassen, who promoted a raw vegan diet to bolster white strength, while referring to non-white people as, quote, mud races.
Oh my God. That is so ugly. What the fuck?
It's horrifying. And that's like someone who's like an alt-right, raw diet promoter, where it's very obvious, like, okay, we know what you're doing. But modern white wellness projects replace that terminology and couch it in much easier to digest language. They focus on talk about returning to pure ancestral traditions, building healthy communities. And this makes their core goals appear harmless or even laudable to casual observers. Fascism in this context is presented as being natural. You're just reconnecting with, your raw diet and
That's
your
also like
ancestral foundations of community.
Save the children.
Save the children. This subtlety can
This is very basic, you guys. Just do it our way.
This subtlety can act as a gentle indoctrination to far-right views for those who might not otherwise consider them. It's just community building.
Yeah.
But when the community being built is racially segregated and founded on ideas of purity, the water is already too damn hot. When you want the whole cul-de-sac to be full of kids that look like you, the water's starting to boil in the pot, honey.
Were those lyrics of a song?
Off of her newest
The
album.
whole cul-de-sac looks like us?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
Yeah. White wellness has proven especially effective for attracting, who knew, white women who were historically relegated to domestic roles within the movement, such as sewing KKK hoods or cooking for rallies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wellness, aligning with traditional female domains like healthy cooking and home remedies, gives women a public role in the movement, and we see this a lot on social media. Women doing wellness, trad wife, traditional family and community content is subtle but questionable. And if you find yourself in that lane, it requires extra care to make sure that the content you're supporting, or maybe the content you're making, is not supporting racial undertones. Mm-hmm. This kind of content is appealing, especially among white nationalist spaces where women are often subjugated to traditional roles. Making this content allows them to start their own ventures, contributing financially and ideologically without the risk of male intervention. And I feel like this is something that's important to discuss, and you'll see this in a lot of anti-racism spaces. You might notice that, like, even I myself am part of anti-racism groups that are specifically for white women, because white women uphold white supremacy in ways that white men don't. There's a different thread, and some of that is because of our own subjugation, our own victim complexes, our own, like, life lived on at intersections of oppression ourselves. And so it's sort of that, like, the man is the head, but the woman is the neck, where, like, I think I know from doing this work, a lot of white women, we don't recognize necessarily right away how we're upholding white supremacy in our day-to-day actions and our day-to-day lives. And so that's, like, really important to unpack. And so when Black educators are specifically speaking to white women, it's not meant to be like some sort of racially charged, like, attack. It's meant
like accusation.
It's meant to show us the mirror of our own behavior so that we can recognize it and dismantle it in ourselves. Or non-behavior. Right.
We can
Action,
recognize
inaction.
our own inaction
Correct.
as upholding racist systems and white supremacy.
Exactly. So I just wanted to mention that because there's anytime, especially in anti-racism conversations, you speak specifically about white women, there's always white women who are getting pissed about it. But if you are curious...
You know what? We need to stop getting fucking pissed off.
Yeah, just listen.
Like, it's not personal.
No.
But you have to take action about it.
And
it's kind of like our mental health state.
100%.
It's not your responsibility.
It's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
It is your responsibility. And we do
You might not have taken part in any racist behavior. You might not have called a Black person a slur yourself before.
But it doesn't mean we don't uphold white supremacy.
Yeah.
So
it's not what we're talking about.
Just a reminder that we do have some really incredible anti-racism resources on our resources page. I highly encourage everyone who is white, who is listening, to engage with them. And they will really help you build the foundation for recognizing some of the stuff that we're talking about in these episodes. And I know that a lot of people are like, do learn things from us, but know that everything that we have learned has come from specifically Black women, and they are the ones to be giving your money to and getting your education from, not from us mentioning shit on a podcast. Like, we can always go deeper. It's our job to bring people into the work, but the work isn't what we're doing. The work is what they're doing. So go find their work, and we have a lot of it on our website. Just going to put that out there. Yes, indeed. Okay, so a woman named Allison McKevitt is a former white nationalist who has actually come out kind of like in a American History X sort of situation, but whatever, and spoken against, or at least made some things clear about white nationalism, and considers herself a former white nationalist, which is the only reason why I'm including this. So it's like straight from the horse's mouth. This is the kind of shit that white women in these movements are doing. So She, as a former white nationalist, noted the frustration of being, quote, delegated to literal sewing circles before the wellness opening emerged, and she is an example of someone who took full advantage of that opening. She founded an organization called Evergreen to take her place in white nationalist messaging. Here's an excerpt from Allegheny Independent Media about Allison and Evergreen. So Evergreen is a group of white nationalist women that was founded in 2021 by Allison McKevitt in Bedford, Pennsylvania. McKevitt is married to Mike McKevitt, a leader in the National Justice Party, which is a white supremacist party, the NJP.
Obviously.
Evergreen generally functions as an all-female auxiliary group for the all-male NJP. Evergreen has a small online presence and appears to focus their energy on organizing and partnering with the NJP to hold conferences and events such as Operation White Christmas, focused on gift donations to white children.
Oh my God.
And supporting the members of the NJP, the male members. Evergreen also holds fundraisers and events for NJP supporters, often geared at families. So they do the work that's like the women's work for the white supremacist movement. You hold the fundraisers, you do the wellness content, you talk about the family values, you gather the donations for the children, for the white children. It's very much that, like, you're carving out your place in the cove of subjugation that they have made for you. They have shared content.
Yeah, that's where you belong.
That's where you belong. Yep. Evergreen also holds fundraisers and events for NJP supporters, often geared at families. The group has shared racist tropes about the superiority of white families. They have shared content about the importance of white women in the white nationalist movement in their role as mothers only. Evergreen appears to advocate that white mothers are on the front lines of the battle to stop the, quote, great replacement occurring in the United States, which, of course, is based on the racist and anti-Semitic Great Replacement theory. Under this theory, the group claims that white mothers are needed to make white babies to stop the demographic shift underway. The group expresses harmful ideas about raising children in white households under the rule of the white patriarch. The group has expressed anti-Semitic and racist ideas about Jewish and Black people destroying white culture. The group has engaged in explicit and implicit anti-Black racism, suggested that the cultures of non-white communities are inherently, quote, degenerate, unhealthy, uncivilized, or have low IQ. So that's that race realism thing.
Oh, right. The race realism.
Yeah, that theory. The Southern Poverty Law Center has listed this group as a white nationalist hate group since 2021. So, like, Allison McKevitt's role in supporting all of those ideations was essentially like trad wife content. Was like drawing people in with this like picturesque version of what this ideology can look. It's marketing. And women, because
it's not so bad. Why do we get such a bad rap? I'm pretty, I'm thin, I'm doing what I love, I'm so happy.
And women in the hierarchy of these like white nationalist circles, where that's the only work that they should be doing, cling to that because it gives them a public sense of purpose, and it gives them a public face and like work that they are allowed to do by their men to support this ideology. So just be wary of trad wife content, period. Although some of it is very interesting to watch. I know that I've watched it. It's fascinating.
And there are some really funny, like, satirical trad wife content creators. But, like, yeah. Or even if you yourself are dabbling into this and your partner might be like, oh, yeah, babe, that's a really good idea. You can have your own source of income.
If that's the only source of income you're allowed to have, maybe babe needs to be reevaluated.
Things could be exacerbated and you should be aware.
So some dog whistles that can be found in things like trad wife and wellness content that support the overt ideas listed above are women's roles in the home, women who in that role control what their families eat, and that brings in the clean eating coming to play, the raw milk,
the
anti-vax, yep. And these things might seem kind of benign on the surface, like a recipe or exercises to stay healthy. All of this can be steeped in white pseudo-supremacy and superiority, and this encourages white women to set themselves apart through health, wellness, and family from the people that they deem, quote, degenerates. Research.
And if you think like, I'm just thinking about like the anti-vax stuff, and it's very easy to be like, well, you know, we want to live naturally. We want to live off the land. Like that is
homesteading.
Step B.
Yeah.
And it's not illogical and it's not wrong.
And it doesn't mean if you're doing that, you're a white supremacist. No.
But like moving down that river, if you're ignoring
that there are people that use that
health
content
guidelines.
Yeah, right.
And also that you might be influencing other people, and like, oh, all of a sudden there's a measles outbreak in my community. I wonder why. Oh, children are dying really fucking horrific deaths because we don't actually remember what measles is.
Oh, measles is fucked up.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, putting distance between if you're moving down a pipeline, you're at point A or point B. If you're looking down at point F, I would never. There's no reason. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole
point.
Yeah, it
exactly.
is the whole point. It's all of the nuances in between.
Research also shows, like what you talked about earlier, how algorithms accelerate this process, particularly on platforms like Instagram and TikTok. Engaging with ostensibly health-conscious content, like posts promoting raw milk or fitness routines, can lead to content suggestions to follow explicitly far-right political figures who also align with that kind of content. This means an unsuspecting user engaging with content about workouts for women can be just one or two swipes away from extreme right-wing content. Like it just is suddenly right there in front of you. And you got there through an avenue that you were already open to. So it doesn't seem as extreme when the content that's being pushed to you is, say, I'm curious about vaccinations. I'm curious about raw diets or raw milk. And then a couple scrolls later, you've got RFK, squawking at you. We're not going to make fun of his voice, but...
Well, I understand that it's a result of like a fucking throat cancer or something.
Whatever.
However,
It's
what
rough.
do you describe that as?
I don't.
A scratchy...
I just can't. I can't describe it. It's indescribable.
I don't know what it is.
But in terms of like the workout stuff, it's also just really important to remember that fat phobia itself is a powerful tool that everyone, but especially women, is susceptible to, and is itself rooted in anti-Black racism. So I found this interview that I thought was incredibly helpful in helping me understand this. It's an excerpt from an NPR interview with Sabrina Springs, who is the author of Fearing the Black Body, The Racial Origins of Fat Phobia. And it was, I found the transcript of it. It's really, really, really good. I highly recommend everybody go listen to it. She says, quote, "So it turns out that the growth of the slave trade, especially by the 18th century, led to new articulations of what types of appearance we could expect of people by different races, and also what types of behaviors, such that by the middle of the 18th century, a lot of French, white philosophers in particular, were arguing that when we, the French colonizers, are in the colonies, we're noticing that Africans are sensuous." And they were writing about how Africans love sex and they love food. And for this reason, they tend to be too fat. Again, this is from a white colonist perspective. Mm-hmm. And then they would posture that against, Europeans, us, we have rational self-control. This is what makes us the premier race of the world. So in terms of body size, we should be slender and we should watch what we eat. And then the interviewer responds to this saying, "So, okay, Sabrina, are you telling me that when the slave trade started and Europeans saw that African women were essentially curvy, much like European women at the time, at that point they decided that being fat, being thicker wasn't ideal anymore, and then they built a system of oppression around the idea of needing to be thin to prove racial superiority. Is that it? Am I close?"
So, like, do they just need to be the opposite?
Pretty much. And String says it's not quite as intentional as that. Effectively, what they determined was that, we wanted to be able to have a mechanism for ensuring that we could recognize who was enslaved and who was free, right? And it was easy in the beginning of the slave trade. It was simply skin color. But as you might imagine, after 200 years of living in close proximity, skin color no longer works as a mechanism. Because now we have all of these people who are, we would consider them today to be biracial. And so what they did was they decided to articulate new aspects of racial identity. And so eating and body size became two of the characteristics that were being used to suggest that these are people who do not deserve freedom.
That's fucking wild.
And true.
Yes. Oh my God.
I know. I know.
Man, sometimes it just takes putting shit into words to be like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. Highly recommend everybody read Sabrina String's book, because obviously that's only like the tip of the iceberg and the whole book is about it. But just to say it again, Fearing the Black Body, The Racial Origins of Fat Phobia. I already ordered it. I'm like, I saw this interview and I was like, holy shit, I need to read this book. So let's go deeper into the wellness pipeline now that we have some of the more like racial undertone context. The white wellness movement is fueled by the concept of parallel economy, an idea that gained traction after the 2017 Charlottesville rally led to crackdowns on far-right groups by social media and payment processors. The goal is to build a self-sufficient system where white people only engage economically with their own racial and ideological kin. So it's just like that YouTube thing. We put like with like, and we support it, you know, within and hopefully by drawing in people from outside.
Like-minded.
Correct. Yeah. So they cloak this in calls for equality sometimes. For example, like, why could folks proudly support Black-owned businesses and call for others to only shop Black-owned, but it's bad to support white-owned businesses? It's shit like that. That's like, quote-unquote, plausible deniability thing. And honestly, bitch, it's because white businesses and economies have not been historically and systemically undercut and flat out destroyed. Read about the fucking Tulsa Massacre and Black Wall Street and then try to ask that question. But
if you don't already know, I don't know what to tell you.
But like, that's the kind of pushback that you'll get in these conversations. And so, again, engaging with anti-racism education so that you are armed with the answers to those bad faith questions is helpful.
They are bad faith questions, but also like from the perspective of a person who just doesn't know any better.
It might not always be bad
very
faith.
Simple logic. So
it is.
But it's also not your fucking job to explain it to them. So
well, it is our job as white people to explain it to them. For sure. That's our work.
It's our job. Yeah. I wasn't speaking to necessarily people of our skin tone.
Right. Exactly. So for these parallel economies, aka white economies, there are workarounds that can be subtle. So here's an example. GoFundMe took down fundraisers in support of Kyle Rittenhouse because of the backlash that they got. In the aftermath of that, a new crowdfunding platform was made by Christian nationalists called Give, Send, Go. It looks and operates, live, laugh, love.
Jesus Christ.
It looks and operates very similarly to GoFundMe, but they proudly support folks like Kyle Rittenhouse and supported Shiloh Marie Hendricks here in Minnesota, who was charged with 3 misdemeanor counts of disorderly conduct in August of 2025, just this past frickin' year, after a viral video showed her yelling racial slurs at a black child in a Rochester, Minnesota park. She was calling a black child the N-word.
Oh, I saw that. And then she was unrepentant about it.
She raised almost $1 million on Give, Send, Go.
Are you fucking kidding me?
To move away because her family was being targeted. So money...
And wasn't she walking away being like, yeah, I said it and I'll say it again?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Fuck that bitch. So money is able to be funneled into this kind of shit without fear of being removed by quote unquote woke backlash. So like that Give, Send, Go is an example of a parallel economy for this type of action. And just thought I would name a woman who has fought these platforms and who I found online because she was fighting back against Give, Send, Go and all the money that Shiloh What's-Her-Face was making. She is absolutely worth following and supporting her work. Her name is Keandria Damone, and she finds and goes after payment processing companies that are linked to sites like GiveSendGo to try to encourage them to block those payments. So like,
amazing.
because some of these companies, these processing companies, like anyone can make a website and just like connect it to Stripe or connect it to Square. And they have so many millions of clients. Yeah, they may not even know that it's being used in that way.
Yeah,
and
I guess
so
if you raise it to the right person at the corporation, they may be like, "Oh shit, this is not a good look."
Right.
Especially if people like Keandra are willing to be like, "I'm going to the press." Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah, and Keandria, by the way. But yes, so like following people like her who like this is what she does. She like finds these. She's got like a huge tech background. She's incredibly fucking smart. And I just thought that was important to note because the work she does, that's like a powerful reminder that even if we come up against what feels like a wall, like, oh, I want this thing taken down, but it's give, send, go. They're not going to take it down because they don't give a shit. But there's always another avenue to take to dismantle racist bullshit. Like you could always go deeper. Okay, who's processing the funds for give, send, go? Because they're not their own bank. They're not processing that money. Okay, cool. Next step, go to the fucking bank. Boycott that bank, like raise hell so that they can't be funneling, in this case, almost $1 million to a racist white woman who called a child the N-word at a park.
That's also fucking
We're raising
crazy
money for
because
her?
If she raised $1 million on that platform, everyone would be aware of her name and those circumstances. And it wouldn't take much to pressure for outside pressure to be like, are you fucking kidding me?
But it's that parallel economy thing. She is taking money from other white supremacists. So that's what it's like. They don't care.
I'm
they
not
know
saying
who
you
they're
might
getting money to.
influence the donors, but at least the systems. Like she called the bank or the lending system or whatever it was.
Exactly. So you hope that you can have some leverage with the systems to go, hey, your payment processing company is on this shit. The fuck are you doing? Like, you really want to be aligned with this?
And you're never going to know that you can't make a change
Maybe
by
try.
going through those avenues unless you try.
Mm-hmm. So what does all that have to do with the wellness pipeline? Well, the wellness industry fits this parallel economy model pretty perfectly because beyond crowdfunding, products like coffee, soaps, and supplements are huge moneymakers in this industry, offering a steady income stream and high markup, unlike overly ideological literature or apparel that make clear what their values are right on the product. You're like, oh my gosh, I just found this really nice handmade soap. Mm-hmm. I'll totally buy that. That looks like a really great product. Oh my gosh, this really nice like home roasted
a fair
coffee
trade thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
So some examples of these products identified by extremism researchers are Arcadian Wellness, which was founded by Kyle Hunt.
Kyle Hunt?
Can you imagine?
No, I already hate him.
I know. Who also runs the far-right Renegade Broadcasting and Renegade Tribune.
No.
Arcadian Wellness sells natural products like sulfate-free soaps for $6 to $7 a bar, deodorant sticks, and tooth cleaning powder.
Tooth cleaning powder.
Yuck. While the wellness site avoids politics, so that just any rando coming across it might not know, it is advertised on Renegade Broadcasting, whose tagline welcomes listeners to, quote, controversial but factual viewpoints the mainstream does not want you to hear.
Cool.
Okay.
Just what I want.
This
exactly what I depend on.
Less covert. The Mighty White Soap Company. This company is obviously less subtle, with products featuring openly racist names like Caucasian Abrasion Body Scrub.
Oh my God. Just because it rhymes doesn't make it
the marketing,
okay.
It's so embarrassing. White people should never do marketing. Clearly, you're terrible at it. They also use
Caucasian Abrasion.
They also use blatant racially coded names such as Day of the Rope Soap, a reference to white nationalist uprising described in the Turner Diaries. So obviously, if you're coming across shit like that, block it immediately, report it immediately. But that's like one way on the other end example. But a lot of them are just a lot more subtle than that. Like Havamal Soapworks uses Nordic neo-pagan aesthetics and terminology co-opted by the far right. Its founder has praised a blogger who promotes race realism and reposted content from Media to Rise, another right-wing media company, and linked to the Rise Above movement. So it's like knowing where, maybe who's retweeting these products, who's reblogging them, where are these products being advertised? Why am I seeing this, and who else is seeing this? Who is supporting this? It's like
and
that
also,
little stuff to look at.
On the surface, I don't know what the fuck Havamal means. Obviously, Mighty White isn't great, but like Arcadian, like Renegade seems like a buzzword. But okay, so the Turner Diaries, the rope one. I know I'd heard of the Turner Diaries before, so I had to Google it really quick. But just in case you don't know, let's see. It is a 1978 novel by William Luther Pierce, who is the founder and chairman of National Alliance, which was an American white nationalist group. And it was published under the pseudonym Andrew MacDonald. But basically, it talks about a violent revolution in the United States. And it's over like racial things and like talking about extermination of non-whites and Jews around the world. And yeah, a day of mass execution called the Day of the Rope. And it's about killing minorities.
Yeah.
And this parts of the Turner Diaries has been recreated and like repurposed in modern day fucking everything.
Oh, absolutely it has.
Like it's yeah, speaking of dog whistles, familiarize yourself with the Turner Diaries.
Another one is Above Time Coffee Roasters.
Oh, what the fuck?
After its owner, Sarah Dye, known as Folk Mom in online forums, not great, faced backlash for her identity-based politics, she launched this coffee brand. Above Time is an overtly nationalist-owned business serving our people. The company's name and logo incorporate subtle Nazi SS symbols and swastika motifs, and it proudly declares its beans are #NKC, not kosher certified.
Oh my God.
So again, not to keep bringing it back to Taylor Swift, but like, how are we supposed to know the difference between the potential SS-88 necklace that
the lightning bolt
that has not had a clear and concise statement made about it, and someone who, like Sarah Dye, is intentionally using that imagery to support exactly what her ideation is? If you don't speak out against it, we don't fucking know what category you're supposed to fall in. And I'm sick of trying to protect people who have all of the money, all of the protection, and all of the resources in the world to be able to speak out against these types of things. Like, she's not a little baby fawning flower. She is an adult woman with the more resources than any other fucking person on this planet
best lawyers,
to protect herself.
PR people,
best
who
lawyers,
you think
best security,
have her best intentions. Like,
so
at
yeah,
the forefront.
she can speak up. She can do that. She'll be okay.
Also, at this point, she knows.
And so then that silence is also intentional.
Not kosher certified. Is
Not
crazy.
kosher certified. Yeah. Grandma Towler's tea. Again, oh my God, cute. Grandma Towler. Nope. Launched by Laura Melia, Deputy Director of the UK white nationalist group Patriotic Alternative. The business started as a political response to a mainstream company supporting Black Lives Matter. Melia explains that her profits are plowed into projects that align with her political values, such as supporting her husband, who is imprisoned for, quote, intending to stir up racial hatred. So yeah, these businesses... Yeah,
that doesn't sound great. What are you talking about?
No, I know, it's not. These businesses, whether subtly masked or overtly nationalistic, appeal to figures like Jason Cohn of No White Guilt, who promotes white well-being, focusing on, all this shit makes me want to throw up. Focusing on nurturing inner and communal strength within insular white communities to reclaim, quote, lost power.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of lost power, it's like that guy with the generator that was too loud, making all of his neighbors jealous.
I don't care if that was fake. I loved it, okay?
Generator envy.
Since many white wellness businesses aim to avoid scrutiny, they utilize subtle clues rather than overt statements. Spotting the signs often requires looking beyond the beautiful packaging and ingredient lists. So what are the warning signs that a company or influencer is aligned with this pipeline? You can look for things like focuses on purity and ancestry, language promoting a return to pure traditions, or eating simple natural foods like our ancestors. The absence of progressive values. So one researcher noted that signs include the absence of, quote, woke content, such as like, there's no post during Pride, there's no Black Lives Matter content. You know, just taking a look at social media can be really helpful to see if a company has a history of supporting or ignoring, or worse, flat out denying issues that are aligned with your values.
Sticker mule.
Right.
Good Lord.
Coded imagery, the use of co-opted symbols such as, like what we discussed, Nordic neo-pagan themes, some runes, things that like are not rooted in that kind of shit, but have been co-opted, which is really like the whole point of the pipeline. Taylor Swift might not be rooted in this stuff, but there are enough people co-opting her lyrics, her imagery, what she's doing to create this pipeline that she's got to do something about it. That's her responsibility.
It's her pipe.
It's her pipe. Crusader Knights or Plague Doctors, things like that. Use of sleek, serious aesthetics like that hyper masculine black packaging with like the gold and the, you know, it's just you could picture it. You can picture it, that kind of shit.
Magnum.
Yeah, be wary.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theory blends. So if a wellness...
Sorry. Let me back up to Magnum really quick because I'm pretty sure... Sorry, hold on.
Use condoms. That's not what we're saying.
Magnum. No, I think the Magnum ice cream company bought Ben and Jerry's.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, that's a whole thing.
So that's how that happened. And that wasn't too long ago.
No, that was really recent.
So...
And really sad.
Really sad, but because of blah blah blah, spin out from its parent company Unilever. But yeah, Magnum, if you know about their packaging, that's sort of like exemplary of this whole thing, like them taking over Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah, giving you your anti-woke hyper mask ice cream. Okay, guys, fucking calm down.
Stick it in your mouth.
It's ice cream.
It's on a stick.
Honestly, all of this is gayer, you guys. So, like, chill.
You're making it more
You're
gay.
making it way more gay. Okay? Little hint.
Hey, you're making it way more gay. You can see your whole ball sack.
Yeah, it's hanging out. So, conspiracy theory blends. So, if a wellness account frequently transitions or even just kind of subtly starts to infuse content from discussions of health remedies to broader conspiracies about, say, 5G, vaccines, New World Order plots, anti-Semitic theories.
That you'll see at the metaphysical fair. It's like
New World Order shit.
Like magnetic, like I'll clear out your veins. Using this magnetic wand and like weird shit like that.
Reduce 5G chemtrails with this crystal.
Literally.
If you're there, you've wandered into a point of radicalization. Like you gotta assess and step back and hold on to your crystals in the pure, not pure, in the good way. They were meant to be.
Those weren't crystals. That was like a fucking helmet.
Right.
Or like a chair you'd
buy
sit
the
in.
helmet. Don't buy the helmet.
You don't need the helmet.
Obviously, you want to look for affiliation with extremist platforms. Like, look at where that coffee business buys ads. Look at who's promoting it. If the business is advertised on or listed in white nationalist business directories, such as the Aryan Archive, which is a thing, or appears on platforms known as hotbeds for hate speech like Gab or Telegram, those are red flags. Reactions to social change. So if the influencer or business frames issues like racial justice movements, Black Lives Matter, Palestinian liberation, defunding the police, things that are like very on the forefront of the zeitgeist right now.
Progressive,
and are aligned with pretty progressive thinking as something harmful to the consumer, urging people to shroud their support for White Lives Matter as a matter of self-care. Like that's, that's part of the pipeline. And it can be as subtle as someone wanting to kind of draw your attention away from those issues and try to numb you to it. To go, like, we've talked about this before, but white women specifically kind of weaponizing self-care as a means to not engage with the movement, right? Not engage with the work that needs to be done.
I can't.
Right.
I'm so stressed. I have to take a bath. I can't deal.
And like, sure, we all get stressed.
I get it. I fucking get it. But to also completely excuse yourself from an entire social movement is not okay.
No.
And that is all because of your privilege.
Right.
Because you probably won't really be affected one way or the other.
Correct. So researchers caution that repeated exposure to soft-pedaled or masked elements of hateful ideology without sufficient critical thinking can lead people down a more overtly white supremacist rabbit hole. This approach is quite effective in onboarding people into white nationalism, often targeting those seeking explanations for chaos or those who feel let down by mainstream institutions such as medicine or government. So it is ripe right now for this kind of shit. We live in highly dysregulating times. And the calm white lady on the screen of your phone may invite you to numb yourself to the chaos around us with things that seem benign at first. Breathing exercises, yoga poses, an exercise routine, a weekly meal plan, etc. But if that same white lady is using her platform to promote shady products or is followed by or supported by right-wing content creators or is blatantly lacking content that aligns with your values, scroll the fuck away. Don't engage because that just puts it on your feed more and other people's feeds more. Honestly, block and report. Bye-bye.
The second you engage is the second you step into the
door is open. So it's entirely possible that this is a subtle invitation to join their movement disguised by wellness practices. Do not be fooled. And again, I never want to listen to a white supremacist, but former neo-Nazis, they know this fucking playbook. And there's another former neo-Nazi who has spoken out about this. His name is Christian Picciolini. And he warns that even if these white wellness businesses don't make huge amounts of money, the investment returns they make in recruiting new non-traditional people to the movement are worth it to white nationalists. Quote, this is an ecosystem ripe for recruiting new members, he says. So even if you're following a content creator that doesn't seem to have that much influence, doesn't seem to have that much power, it's very possible that there's either money or support flowing to them from this network almost. Like you said, that YouTube network, these parallel economies, we're supporting that content among each other to keep it prevalent, keep it in the algorithm, and keep it at the forefront. And it's subtle. And so it's just again, being critical of what we stumble across on social media and taking a deeper look. If, anytime you kind of fall in love with a creator, you fall in love with a musician, you fall in love with, etc., you're becoming a fan. It's
an activity. I was thinking about, I started Pilates not too long ago and I fucking love it. But I will say, the second I stepped into that studio, all I saw were older white ladies. And that it wasn't a red flag, but it's just I need to be aware of who these people are. And if things get weird or if I don't feel super into it, but I love the activity. But yeah, you just have to maintain awareness. And I'm not saying my Pilates studio is a pipeline necessarily, but
no, but having that critical,
anything can be a pipeline.
Anything can be a pipeline.
You gotta, and it's not paranoia. Again, it's just thinking about how you feel about something, your emotional response, and what your participation in that idea, activity, group,
is,
artist, whatever, might do like contribute to something that you might not align yourself with.
Critical thinking, babes. Anyway, this was a lot.
This was a lot. This was a good episode.
We went for it and we done did it. And we won't be engaging with Swiftie arguments in our comments. We love you. You can do your thing, but we also can do our thing.
Man.
We're not gonna engage with y'all. We said what we said.
We're making a lot less money than Taylor Swift.
We sure are. So we can choose not to engage in that.
Yep.
If you want to know where we fall, listen to the episode. We just told you. You're not gonna change my mind. Love ya.
Also, if you liked this episode, if you want to listen to this episode, now all of our episodes ad-free, join us on Uncorked.
Hell yeah.
Because we got ad-free video. We have ad-free audio. We have bonus content. We got drunk dives. We got monthly happy hours.
We've got early ticket
got
releases and discounts on tickets for live stream events and in-person events. We have exclusive merch.
I have gotten so many DMs being like, are there any Des Moines VIP tickets left? I'm like, no.
They're gone.
They're all gone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. We released them to Uncorked.
The Uncorked girlies got them first. And if you want to be an Uncorked girly who gets it first, you got to join Uncorked.
Got to join Uncorked.
Come on down.
Go to our website,
$5
wineandcrimepodcast.com/uncorked to learn more. Thank you so much for listening to this episode and supporting us. And we'll unleash some more bullshit on you next week.
Damn right we will. Bye-bye.
Like what you see?
Check out more episodes and become a member to unlock exclusive content.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.